Welcome guys to a brand new Dan Striker YouTube channel video. We're back on Forza Horizon 5, and most importantly, your eyes are not deceiving you. This video did not take me a month to make. I know, it's incredible, but that's not important, okay? It would be if I could get subscribers from it, but I don't care, because I won't. I don't know, how did we get here? Anyhow, so what are we doing today? I think that's very important for those of you who can't read and couldn't read the title of the video. So today, we're going to be trying to make this game as difficult as it possibly can be. And that is going to be done via this car. I think car is a bit of an overstatement, but yes, this vehicle, this transportational method. So what is this? This is the smallest car in Forza Horizon 5, which, if you also couldn't read, is this game. So we're driving the smallest car in the game against people who are driving normal cars. And that's, you know, that would be fine if this thing didn't have 3 wheels instead of 4. Now, if you're wondering why that's a problem, well, one word, physics. I think that, you know, summarizes everything pretty well. So physics don't allow this car to be very good. And it's very difficult to drive because of that one wheel at the back. But anyway, this car is basically a very small car powered by a motorbike engine. Oh my god, okay, yes. I did say it was light, didn't I? It's very light, mainly because it's small. But it has 3 wheels because it has to be as small as possible. And it's also powered by a motorbike engine. I guess they just kind of wanted to keep the swing arm from the bike they took it from. I really don't know. Honestly, I don't know what thought processes went through these guys' heads when they were creating this thing. One thing's for sure, they were not thinking about safety, but this is Forza Horizon 5. Safety is the least important thing ever. So basically, this thing's stock only has about 4 horsepower, which makes it a little bit less of a death trap. But in this configuration, this thing has 196, which, if you can do math, yes, that's a bit more than 4. And this thing was not made to take almost 200 horsepower, as you can probably tell. And so it's very difficult to drive. Now, I am losing this race, which is good because it means I've discovered a method of making this game very difficult for myself. But also, I didn't think I would be here. I honestly thought I would be very much at the back of the pack. But that's fine. Oh my god, okay. So, basically, this thing should not be in this configuration. It's a death trap. But that's what makes it fun, because, you know, the only way to make engaging content nowadays is to do something really stupid. That's what's become of YouTube nowadays. I'm gonna take the corner, yes, look at this. And a drift across the line. Beautiful stuff. So anyway, continuing where we left off. So this thing is a 3-wheeled car, but, you know, that's pretty difficult. But the problem isn't there. It's very much there. I think saying this thing doesn't have problems with the fact that it's a 3-wheeler is gonna be wrong. But the main problem, is its wheelbase, which is basically as long as the distance between my foot and my knee. It's not very long, and so it's very unstable. And couple that with the fact that it weighs like 200 kilos, that's not very great to drive. But we continue, because that's not all. There's more. There's more as to why this thing is as difficult to drive as it is. And that's because it's on stock suspension. Now, I'd love to say that the reason for this is because I'm confident in my abilities at driving this thing, but not only would that be wrong because it's difficult to drive, but it would be wrong because I came up with this idea 15 minutes ago. And I haven't practiced this at all, which is probably not very good considering what I'm driving, but apparently it's working out somehow, I guess. But anyway, I'd love to say that the fact that this thing's on stock suspension is because I'm confident in my abilities, but that's not only wrong because of the reason I just mentioned, but also because, well, I'm not confident in my abilities. I don't think anybody is going to be confident in their abilities enough to keep a car like this on its stock suspension from the 1960s. Unless they're masochistic, which I am apparently turning out to be. How am I winning this race? I really should not be winning these. But the real reason why is because you can't switch the suspension. This is the only option you have as suspension. Well, I guess these guys kind of made the corners. I think it would be an overstatement, but they kind of did. Now, because this thing is so small, another thing I just realized, the brakes are much more powerful than they have to be, and so they're locking up. I have ABS. My brakes should not be locking up, and yet here we are, and so I'm actually having to brake with only like 15% brake, because otherwise this happens. Turn the corner, thank you. Oh, one thing that's very nice about this thing is that it has the power-to-weight ratio of like a Formula 1 car. It has like 200 horsepower, but it only weighs like 200 kilos. And so it accelerates pretty fast. Please don't give me a penalty. Oh, it gave me a penalty. Steer! Okay, we're not winning this race, guys. Honestly, I think everybody could have noticed this, but... Okay. I have to lock in. I think that's what the kids nowadays say. I don't think it's going to be enough, considering I'm driving this thing. Oh my god. Oh my Jesus Christ. There we have the tricycle. The tricycle is trying to kill me, guys. Like and subscribe to the video if you like seeing me suffer like this. Oh my Jesus Christ. It's a bit difficult to do commentary with this. I'm not gonna lie. It really isn't very easy. Please grip up, grip up. No, no, no. I'm gonna get murdered. I'm about to get murdered. No, no. All right, and we're back. So, as I said, very difficult to drive. There's a couple of things that just make it insanely stupid. One of them is actually the weight. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier because, well, my memory lasts about 2 seconds. But this thing has like 200 kilos of weight. And that's good because it means it can launch very fast. Like, look at this. Look at that fast launch. Everybody's getting left in the dust by a mouse. And a starved one at that. But the problem is, the moment I hit anything, this thing just stops in its tracks. I can hit a literal condensed air particle, and I'm probably gonna die. Mainly because the crumple zone is my knees. I'd like to think that my knees are strong enough to withstand air, but I can't be too sure, can I? Okay, we're getting chased down by No Name. Alright, if I can be beaten by any... Like, if I could choose to be beaten by anybody, No Name, that would be my first choice. But anyhow, in any case, it's very difficult to drive, and yet I seem to be winning, which should not be happening. Now, granted, there is actually no OP cars in this lobby, which is nice. But still, this thing has enough going for it that should make it impossible to win in. And yet, I'm kind of doing that. Yeah, with much difficulty, though. I think the guy that was chasing me just missed a checkpoint. Well, you know what? Maybe it's not that I'm good at the game. Maybe it's that Forza Horizon 5 players are the only thing that can rival the skill of Minecraft Skywars players. See? See, I just made a Minecraft reference. That's from my Minecraft viewers, which is most of them. Okay, this is a bit... See, the problem is, this is, like, actually quite difficult to drive, as I've probably stated 1,000 times, but that's not a problem. I typically drive difficult cars. That's not that big of a deal. The problem is that this thing is so difficult, it's hindering my commentary abilities, which are already pretty much non-existent. I'm currently locked in, as the children say nowadays. I guess. I shall not be overtaken. You shall not pass. No! Now that's just not nice. That's just... I don't know if he did it on purpose. I would not be surprised if he did. But that's unfortunate. Although, let's be honest, I was probably going to get overtaken anyway. Alright guys, it's a couple of races later, and I have discovered two things. First, the fact that this car is light proves to be a little bit more problematic than I thought. Also, why does nobody have names? Forza Horizon 5 is a good game with no obvious flaws. But anyhow, I've discovered a new fault of the fact that this car weighs so little. And that ties in with the second discovery, and that is that Forza Horizon 5 players are true bad people. Now, I didn't think this was the case with this car, because the first two races I did with it, which were also my first two races in general, I didn't practice, which, honestly, in hindsight, probably would have been pretty useful. But, because I've played this game for a while, and I know that people who play this game will punt you off. If you try to overtake them, or if you are in front of them, they will try to kill you. And I thought because this car was so small, people were going to be nice. You know, they were going to be like, oh, look at that small little car, so cute. You know, I'm not going to murder him. Because in this car, you know, getting hit by somebody else, it really is a murder. Because as I said, the crumple zone is your knees. There is no safety, so it's a true murder. I'm not getting overtaken by a DeLorean. And I didn't get punted. That's incredible. I was going to say, oh, well, there we go. That's some good proof right there. Okay, so I thought that was going to be the case, and yet, the moment anybody comes in contact with me, I'm dead. And they just clip me with their wheels once, and I get sent off to America. Which is pretty bad. You know, it's not the optimal strategy. Now, of course, there's nothing I can do about it, because, well, I mean, I can't really say, please be nicer, because they probably won't be. But that sucks, because this thing is already difficult enough to drive, okay? I don't need to get punted off by a massive muscle car. I think you might be realizing who I'm talking about, but anyhow. In all honesty, though, this is quite fun. It shouldn't be. There's no reason why this should be fun, because it's a painful experience. But it's a lot more fun than taking a meta car and winning the race with it. Oh my god, okay. Yeah, okay, I think you've discovered that this car is difficult to drive by now. I don't think I have to reiterate that, so I'm gonna end the video there. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like, subscribe, and be on the lookout for the next video. As I said, I'm trying to upload a little bit more, you know, less than a month between each upload. So if you could subscribe, see all the videos that are upcoming, that would be great. End it off with a drift. And yeah, you didn't think you were gonna get away with no end screen, did you? Of course you would have an end screen. What do you mean no end screen? Now click on the end screen. I need it for views. Please, I need recognition. Click on the end screen.